What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got another demo review. This is going to be from PNS. It is their Beadmaker paint sealant. If you're in the detailing world, I'm sure you've heard of this stuff. It's been making its rounds over the last couple of years. A lot of mixed opinions on this stuff, so we're going to break down all the pros and cons, how to use it, when to use it, how good it is, if you should buy it or if you should avoid it. We're going to break all that down in depth, so stick around. We're going to get right into it. So to give you a quick rundown here, this is the Beadmaker paint protectant. It is spray applied, cured protection, long lasting shine, highly hydrophobic, and extremely easy to use. They claim that the hydrophobic properties of this are second to none, hence the name Beadmaker. So we're going to break all that down. Obviously, this is 1 pint. It'll run you about $16 on Amazon at the time of recording this. You can also get a gallon size for about 40 bucks. If we flip to the back here, you can see exactly what Beadmaker is, how to use it, all that stuff. You can see here it uses unique polymer protectants to produce water-beating, brilliant, long-lasting finish. So those polymers are what give you the protection. This is not a ceramic or anything like that. It does not have SiO2 technology. So in a world of ceramic detailers and things like that, this has some tough competition. So I have high expectations, but as somebody that has used a lot of those ceramic things that give you a longer lasting protection and a deep shine and really all the same stuff that this gives you, this has a lot of competition, but we're going to see what it can do. To my knowledge, this is more for maintenance washes or to use as a topper. You're not really going to get a long lasting protection out of it, but we're going to go ahead and break it down, and we're going to see exactly how it performs and whether it's worth the buy or not. So let's get right into it. So the first way that you can apply the product is the same way that you would with really any other spray product. You just apply it with a microfiber towel. You don't really need to buff it or anything like that. Of course you can. If you prefer to do it that way, you can go back and level it. The slickness of the product is pretty good. It's not the best slickness that I've seen. We tested the Turtle Wax ceramic spray sealant here on the channel a while back. The slickness of that product to me was miles above the slickness of this one. Obviously, with ceramics, that tends to be expected, but the slickness is there. The slickness is good enough to feel like you're not going to scratch the surface as you're working with it. It does have a nice fragrance, which is nice as well. You don't really need a whole lot of the product to get the job done. Obviously, it's pretty similar to any other spray sealant on the market. There's not really any special steps or anything like that that you need to follow. Now, you can apply it to either a dry vehicle or a wet vehicle, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. A lot of people prefer to use it as a drying aid. Obviously, when you're using it on a vehicle that is already dry, you're just going to apply it with that microfiber the same way that you would any other product. And you can see here is the end result on the client's car. Now, I will say when she came to pick the car up, she did run her hand along the side of it, the back of her hand, and she was very pleased with the slickness of it. So the client was very pleased with the slickness of it, and for how easy it went on. When you have clients that are pleased with the slickness, that speaks volumes about the product. So it does go on easy. It gives you good slickness. It gives you good gloss. It actually gives you really, really good gloss. I was very surprised by how much it had boosted the gloss. Now, to me, it seems like the car actually looks a little bit better after it's been sitting for a while. And I don't know if that's something I'm just making up in my head, but for some reason, it seems like after it sits for a while, after you use it, that's when that gloss really tends to pop. So now I'm going to show you how I use it as a drying aid on this other vehicle. I had just washed the vehicle. It was still wet, so I was going to go ahead and dry it. Now, for those that don't know what a drying aid is a product that you use to reduce the chances of scratching the vehicle as you're drying with your drying towel. So a lot of people will use a quick detailer or, other spray sealants, things like that. And PNS does say that you can use this on a wet surface. Of course, they recommend that you use it on a dry surface. You're going to get better results in terms of protection. But I think for me personally, I prefer to use it as a drying aid because you can just spray bigger areas. You can kind of saturate the whole surface. And it's just easier to work with for me personally. And you can see the gloss there is pretty insane after applying it. I was very, very pleased with the gloss enhancement of the product. And when you use it as a drying aid, again, obviously you're not going to get as good of protection as you would if you're using it on a dry vehicle. But you can see here the water beading and the sheeting is still pretty good. The beading is not the best that I've ever seen, to be honest with you. The water beads really aren't all that tight. Again, I did use it as a drying aid on this vehicle. Um, but the beads are, they're good enough. They're definitely solid water beads. They're just not as good as a ceramic spray sealant or something like that. But for as easy as it is to apply and how cost effective it is, I really can't complain too much. Pretty good results with it. And one of the main issues that people tend to have with it is attracting dust. A lot of people say it attracts a lot of dust. So if you live in an area where there's a lot of dirt and dust and things like that, you might have that issue. Here in Maryland, I didn't have that problem at all. See, there's really no dust on the vehicle at all. After coming out and checking it a couple days later, no issues with dust for me at all. Alright, so final thoughts on the Beadmaker from P&S. Absolutely love this stuff as a drying aid. I just actually did another car with it. I just finished up washing my personal car with it and using this as a drying aid. So as a drying aid, if you need something for your maintenance washes that's going to be a topper and give you a little bit of protection after a wash, for a vehicle that already has protection on it. As a drying aid, very, very good stuff. It's very slick, very easy to work with, and it does give you pretty insane shine. If you could see, flip the camera around here and you can see my car that I just finished up, just to show you. This wasn't even going to be part of the video originally, but I just went ahead and gave it a little maintenance wash and applied the Beadmaker to this as well. So overall, I'm very impressed with the gloss that it gives you. Very good at giving you gloss. A lot of people, again, say that they have issues with the dusting. I didn't have any issues with that, at least not in my climate where I live, and not at this point in time. I haven't had any issues with it, but you can see the gloss and the slickness. Very, very good. I mean, you can run your hand on it and feel it. And I actually did a customer's car with it recently as well. She was very impressed with the slickness of it, ran her hand along it, very impressed with it. So it's a good product. And I mean, again, for maintenance washes and things like that, it's a great product to have. If you're looking for something that's going to give you a longer term protection, if you're looking for a good sealant for long-term protection, I might look elsewhere. This really isn't designed for that. It's not designed to withstand elements for a long period of time. A lot of people say you're not going to get more than a couple weeks out of this. They claim that you could get, a month, couple months out of it. But a lot of people that have used it say that it only lasts a couple weeks at most. A lot of people say it's gone after one wash. So if you're looking for a standalone protectant, this probably isn't the one you want to get. But if you're looking for something as a drying aid for maintenance washes, as a topper, stuff's very good. It's not all that expensive, very easy to work with. It's got a nice fragrance, and it works well. It works as advertised. You just don't get a whole lot of protection out of it. So keep that in mind. But with that being said, that's it. That's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Follow me on my socials. I'll link all that in the description as well. Let me know what you guys want to see on the channel next, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.